7 questions that you need to ask your partner before committing. So this is all about getting to know your partner. Hello everyone, I'm Sindy V King. I am the dating and relationship coach for high achievers. Welcome to my channel. If you have not subscribed, I definitely recommend you doing that, and don't forget to hit the bell button because that will give you the notification that you need to get new videos, and I'm going to be posting on a weekly basis, so don't miss out. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about 7 questions that you need to ask your partner before committing. So this is all about getting to know your partner before you go I do, before you move in, before you do make big decisions in your relationship, moving to the next level, or even sometimes being exclusive. If you're that great in being in a relationship, you want to actually investigate your time and get to know them and figure out who they really are, and sometimes the most vulnerable question, and that's what I'm going to be going through with you right now. We got 7 questions that you have to better ask your partner because this is beyond anybody, okay? And you're going to get a different answer from anyone. Let's be real. And sometimes these questions are great even asking for yourself. So self-awareness is such a big important factor, and I'm going to preach this for a very, very long time. The more that you know about you, what triggers you, what you like, what you don't like, and what you can actually be like, I'm done, I'm out of here, peace out, like my non-negotiable. I have a video for that, so if you want to check that out, definitely there's some sort of link that I'm gonna try to post wherever I can. That being said, let's get started right away. So number 1 is, what is your partner number 1 emotional triggers? So let me say that one again. What is your partner number 1 trigger? Okay, emotional trigger. Knowing this answer to this question is important because it actually can diffuse conflicts in the relationship and also increase empathy within the relationship as well. So this is going to actually get to know your partner. Knowing the answer to this question is a big factor because it's going to diffuse any conflicts in the relationship. It's going to increase empathy in the relationship and also diffuse any sort of circumstance that happen. Often we go through life, let's just say often, okay? There's external events. You know, for example, I do once in a while get anxiety and even panic attacks, and it could vary from certain situations that I had happen in my past. For example, I do not like IKEA bags, and that just means that anything that I have experienced or see or have, you know, smell IKEA bags, I have emotional trigger. And the real story is, I used to be with a man where he used to put my things and like toss my clothes and all my items in an IKEA bag, and that kind of stuff is an emotional trigger to me. So I don't like seeing IKEA bags, and that's just as weird, as crazy that it is, but it could be anything, any factor, right? So it could be like a smell of bleach or a lollipop or whatever that might be. But when you know these things, it actually you're going to try to prevent any sort of trauma that actually have any sort of negative feeling or create certain memory. Don't get me wrong, that partner needs to get support and healing on their own, and they're responsible for that. But being self-aware is like, maybe we shouldn't have IKEA bags in the house. That would be fine, right? I think that's would be a good factor for a rule. So that helps your partner feel comfortable, safe, and not trigger. And honestly, being trigger is not always fun. All right, this is the hardest question. Let me tell you about something. So I used to be in the I used to be in accounting, okay? So this question comes up a lot of the time. Do your partner have debt? Okay. And how do you address that? If you are moving in together, living together, getting a mortgage, or buying a new, item that's requires some sort of loan involved. This is a really open question that you should have a discussion. And how should you have the discussion? Definitely, you want to be sitting up and face to face and having a conversation. It can't be lying down in bed, you're trying to relax. It's not a place to have a conversation. You want to be able to talk about this comfortably and openly. And sometimes debt, it could be very vulnerable. I see it happens so many times, even any relationship in general, even like anybody, if you have certain debts, they all need to know if you can actually manage your own debt. But in a relationship, I find that is not always the case. I think it takes two brains to manage the debt together. And it actually helps motivate, even create strategy, what works, what doesn't work. How do we get rid of this debt faster? Is there a lower interest rate on a credit card? How do we do this together? I think it's all about being together and creating a project that you can eliminate these certain debts. You're not looking for perfection. You can't just be like, hey, this is your debt, this is your thing. Go with it. And sometimes they don't have the skills, and maybe you don't have the skills, but what's really important is getting the support, getting the help that needs to actually progress the next level. And that just simply means that you need to be able to feel comfortable to have that conversation. And if you're stuck and it comes back and forth, you guys are arguing, maybe put a pause and be like, hey, maybe we need a third party to maybe overview and create certain strategy. And because we're not expert, you can always come and talk to me about it as well. Or you can find somebody who in the financial industry and could help you, an advisor, to help you create a solution how to eliminate these debts. And sometimes it could be just like selling your things, or downsizing, or minimizing, or creating a budget, whatever that might be. But I think it's important as together as a unit, you feel like it's a team. So it's not like an individual thing, even though if you're carrying this debt individually. Sometimes you just need a supportive partner to kind of boost you up. What are your partner's non-negotiable? And what are yours? Right? So successful partnerships really happens here knowing who they are, who they aren't, what they're struggling with, and even their blind spot. Sometimes you can't even see your own blind spot, right? So, and perhaps most importantly, they know their absolutely bottom line deal breaker. That means there's a walking, like I'm going to walk out from this relationship because you did this. And it could be anything like as crazy and small. For example, I do not recommend anybody to tolerate it in a relationship. Either or you're going to accept them who they are, or you're going to reject them as a whole individual. There isn't this passive aggressive, but there's always room for improvement, what works. And it's all about communication, what you like, what you don't like, and this is my deal breaker, I need to leave. Right? My partner, for instance, never tolerate me maybe like comparing him to another man. He just doesn't like that. And maybe like another woman, for example, when a man actually, when they're mad, they're angry, and they put their fists up like this because they're angry, and even though they never have hit anybody, they won't tolerate that sort of behavior, right? Or even yelling and screaming and like being abusive or whatever that might be. It could be a deal breaker. Maybe you forgot to put down the toilet seat. I don't know. That could be a deal breaker too. It could be as small or as big as it is. Varies from person to person. But what's really important, what you need to know about this is you definitely need to know what is their deal breaker. And the more that you understand your partner, the more that you're self-aware, you don't want to get into that position. And honestly, if you make mistakes like that, guess what? Nobody's perfect. We're all human. All you have to do is, number one, apologize, be accountable for your action, and is there a solution that prevents it from actually happening or reoccurring again? So those are the three things that you gotta have to kind of practice with your partner, and be very forgiving as well. But definitely, if this is really important to you, if it creates trigger moments or trigger emotion, I think you want to diffuse the conflict as much as possible. Okay, so question number 4 is, what is your partner feeling about general timeline to start a family? Or if not, or get married, or not get married, or become in law, or move in, or not move in. So I get this question a lot, and the reason why it's such a sensitive topic is because if we are actually in a committed relationship, we want to maybe perhaps co-create. I know that sounds very cliche, but it's true, because a lot of partnerships do and don't want kids, and if one of them want kids, the other one doesn't, and then one of them is running out biological time, and the other one didn't have the financial fundings to bring a child in this world. I think it's really important to actually have the same be on the same page for this. Number five, sorry, that's the number 5 right here. So are you both committed equally for each other? So that just simply means that, do we have each other's back? And that's really important. The experience that some people have, and I had it happen before, where sometime the partners maybe not feeling that great with the partnership, and they sort of like threw the other partner down the bus. And that's not very nice, so you don't want to be doing that. So it's really important to work as a team and never really like talk down or talk up or be in the dominant or submissive sort of like conversation. I think it should be a conversation of like, you know what, we're struggling, we're working it through. I think it's all about like the end result. We're trying to work this through, we can do this, and that's the attitude. It's all about the attitude at the end of the day. Your partner concerned first and foremost on your mind and agenda. So even when your priorities are different, and we are consciously and considering partner's needs and any decisions that we make that may affect the relationship. So partnership who are presented to one another and are committed to their relationship, for them the relationship comes first. So even with the distraction with the career success or the children or any other factor that might happen in this world, everyone else should come second. So foremost, you and your partner comes first, and everything comes second. Does that make sense? Because when I talk about this in my webinar that I do have created, one of them is a king, one of them is a queen, and both of them together, you guys own your king and queen them together. So when you merge together, you guys are one unit. So how do you support your partner when they are the lowest? So this actually helps you to communicate effectively during the time of stress. And they say like moving is stressful, renovating is stressful, traveling is stressful, planning getting your baby delivered to go to the hospital is stressful, right? Some people prefer to talk it out. Some people don't want to talk it out, and they want to go off and do their own thing and just have their own little like sacrum of like doing themselves. Practically could go to the gym or go for coffee, go for a walk, just on their own. And everybody's different, okay? So, for example, for my case, I don't, when I'm upset or mad or I'm on my down low side, I really need quiet time quite a bit to kind of understand what is happening, understand my emotion, figure out why I'm upset, and is it a big deal to actually even bring it up? And it can be very hurtful. Here's the thing. It can be very hurtful in a partnership. And I'll tell you why when you are kind of on your own. There's not a lot of communication happening. But you have to understand this on the other side. If they're not ready to talk about it, it doesn't have to do with you. It has to do with them. And that's trying to figure out logically, emotionally, how to put the words together. And sometimes it's hard for the other person, but you can always encourage your partner, hey, I'm here for you. If you're upset, let's talk about it. And if we can, definitely want you getting feeling better. So, and here's the number one rule. And, I have broken this rule before, and it's never that good. Never go to bed angry. And that's a big thing that I have learned for my own, restless sleeping. My beauty sleep. I need that. Otherwise, I'm going to be stress sleeping the whole time when I'm actually in rest mode. And really, it's not really that healthy. So if you could hug it out, if you need to diffuse it in a way, maybe make it an appointment, make it another day that we can have this conversation or continue on. This is number 7. Yay! Okay, this is one of my favorite ones. Do you regularly point out what your partner that you're grateful for or what you appreciate them for? So here's a big factor, and this is one of my favorite things to do. So I do the gratitude prayer. So, and it just means that I lie next to my partner, and I would just say, honey, I'm so thankful for you making dinner. I'm thankful that you made the bed. I'm so thankful that you took out the garbage. And I totally appreciate you, and I'm so happy that you're here in my life. And that's all. I keep it as simple as that. And that's how I really like to end the night. And sometimes I write it in my journal. Sometimes I just point it out. And I try to do this on a regular basis. Because it really shows appreciation, even though body language, if they can't read it or understand it or acknowledge it, I think words actually comes forward, and when you do appreciate that, it just means that they have a skill and a quality that are attentive to you, and you like that, and you want to encourage that to continue on. I see this happen all the time. Many divorced couples have never done this exercise, and when that actually was introduced before actually filing for divorce, they realize their relationship is not as bad as they think there is. So really the problem is that small. All you have to do is say, thank you, partner, you're such an amazing person, and keep doing what you're doing. And that's it. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for now. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be doing this video, and there's lots of more coming up. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a nice comment down below. So encourage me to keep on doing. If you have questions about your relationship, well, you can always leave it down below, but there's also a bunch of stuff down in the description. So there's tons of things how we can actually connect. I got a community, I got a tribe, I got so many nice things for you. You just go in there. Yeah, just go in there. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Check out. Bye.